Good morning. Lovely to meet you.
You too.
Yeah, thanks for joining me this morning, Ashley. Sorry I'm a little bit late. I got booted out of where I was in the house by my daughter, who was practicing her singing, of all things. So I believe congratulations are in order.
Yes, found out only the other day.
Yeah, brilliant. So tell me a story. Which force were you up to? What's
Um,
next?
so I did apply for multiple forces,
Hmm.
about 4 different places around me, just because my home force wasn't actually open at the moment.
Yeah.
And Cheshire was like one of the last ones I applied to. But it turns out they were quite quick with everything.
Hmm.
Uh, so did Cheshire. I already had my OAC results, so I just handed those straight in, which let me skip all
Yeah.
that stuff. Uh, got to my interview stage, which I was a bit worried about, which is when I joined this service, and passed it first time.
Awesome, brilliant. Well done, well done. So have you got any indication of whereabouts you're going to go to?
Uh, Not yet. At the moment, it's all the pre-employment stuff. So I've done my references and my vetting. I'm just waiting for all that to
Yeah.
come back. I've got to go back to Cheshire next week and the week after for my pre-employment day and my medical day. And then they're hoping to start, if I do pass all that, in January.
Awesome, brilliant. Well, listen, Runcorn's a good place to go. It's where I started in 1985. So and I know it's changed a bit since then, but yeah, great place to go. Good force, Cheshire. I do like it. You'll be able to work out how old I am from my collar number. My collar number was 2243. I think they're up to something like 9,000 now. So, and they go in order. So, yeah, that would make me very old if I was still in this force. But anyway, I'm not. And there will be no one else with a collar number like that because they've all left. Anyway, Ashley, I wanted to have this sort of catch up with you. One, to just wish you well and thank you for using our services. Yeah, great. All right. So, Ashley, excuse me. Oh, start again. So, Ashley, congratulations. You've succeeded in the Cheshire process. You've passed your final interview. How are you feeling now that you've got through all of that?
Quite, I don't know. It's difficult to explain really because it's like my dream job for however long I can imagine. So I've got my vetting and stuff to do, of course, but very happy, I'd say. I
Yeah,
don't think that even
awesome.
covers it.
You deserve to be happy. You've worked hard and you've got to where you've got to. With that hard work, it doesn't come easy. So, yeah, you absolutely deserve to be happy. So, tell me more about this dream. Then it's always been your dream.
Well, I don't know. I've always kind of lived. So I've lived in a theme park pretty much all my life, but it's in the middle of nowhere. So I've both seen a lot of things and at the same time not seen much.
Yeah,
But what I did used to see is on how like when we had incidents here, people wouldn't want to get the police involved because they didn't trust them or they didn't think they were going to do anything. And so I wanted to kind of the reason why I wanted to do policing and what I'm hopefully going to do is try and change that is to work with the community more, and that's what I want to do because around where I am, they're good, but you don't see them out anymore, and so I want to kind of
yeah.
hopefully change that.
Amazing. Oh, I love that. That's a really, really awesome story. I love it. I always like to find out what what's driving them to join the police. And the great thing about the police service is everyone's got their own unique story. So, really good to hear. So let's take you back all the way to when you had your final interview ahead of you, and you were thinking, "Oh my goodness, I've got this, face-to-face interview in front of real people." How were you feeling before you actually came across our support?
Very nervous because I actually had an interview before I did EL through this service, and I
Hmm.
failed that one. So of course it kind of knocked my confidence down a bit on that. So I was
Right.
quite nervous, quite confused on what to do next because I knew what I had to do, but I didn't know the right ways around it. Which is when I started doing some research, and I used a bit of your service to help me pass the OAC, so I
Hmm.
already knew a bit about it. So that's when I decided to join. And so me and Catherine worked together on our one-to-ones, and I went to the webinars to like see where I was going wrong with my last interview and
Yeah.
which part of stories to pick out. Because my main issue with my interviews is I always had the examples, but I had too much that it would actually fill up about 2 or 3 questions, not just the one.
Oh, okay. So once you started working with Catherine, your coach, and doing the one-to-ones and getting stuck into the webinars, how soon did how fast did it take for you to suddenly realize, oh, that's where I was going wrong?
Oh, well, when I was working with Catherine, it was like the first session where she was telling me on how, because I used the exact same examples I used in my old interview, and she was
Mm,
the one telling me, well, actually, you've kind of overdone it a bit, or you've not covered this bit far enough. So
yeah,
it was pretty much by the first one-to-one, really.
awesome. It's great. Well, you that's not unusual, you know. You know, there's so many people who um, are so police ready. You know, you're so ready to be a police officer, but you just weren't ready for the police interview. And this isn't about, you know, failing it previously. It wasn't anything to do with you not being suitable to be a police officer. It's just that you weren't suitable for the police recruitment process. And, you know, the examples you used were very probably the same, just worded in a different way, just structured in a different way. And my guess is that Catherine also talked about detail. Come on, detail, detail.
Yes, all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. You know, that's, you know, it sounds so simple, but there's three things invariably that are missing from an interview. First one is good structure. Second one is good detail. And the third one, I know it might seem obvious, but just answer the question. You know, stop fretting. I guess Catherine also talked about don't fret about which CVF it's from, just answer the question.
Yeah.
Yeah. So common themes. So, you know, what you've done there and what you've demonstrated there, Ashley, is that you're always ready to be a police officer, but you were just not ready for the police recruitment process. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes people get a sense of, well, I passed the second time with some support, but does that mean that I'm not suitable to be a police officer because of that? No, it's got nothing to do with that. The first time you failed only because you didn't know how to do police recruitment interview. That's the only reason why. Nothing else. Nothing else. So I'm so pleased that you've got through this, got through everything. And I suppose the next question is how was that support from Catherine and everyone else in the team?
It was a lot more than I expected, in a good way. So when I had my final interview, I only actually, from where I booked it to the actual interview, I had 3 weeks to do it,
Mm.
because I didn't quite know my timeline because I'd already done the OAC, so it was a bit different.
Yeah,
Um, so the second I found out it was 3 weeks, I tried doing it myself, but I couldn't quite figure out how to like help myself, if that makes sense. So that's when I did
yeah.
it through the service. And honestly, even though I had 3 weeks, Catherine's help in the webinars were I think some of the biggest help I've ever gotten because they were giving us like good examples, things that we could help use in the interviews, how we answer questions, the structures, and she even gave me just little examples, which I think probably did help. Of like when I'm driving there to Cheshire, which is about 3 and a hour, yeah, 3 hour drive for me. Uh,
Hmm.
listen to myself answering some questions on the like a playback or something, and just get it into my head. So I did stuff like that, and I really think that did help me in the final bit because
Brilliant.
I was a lot less nervous when I actually got there.
Yeah, oh, it's great to hear. And one of the things we pride ourselves on is I've always said that actually being a police officer is about giving 120% without being asked to do so. And I like to think that we carry that same ethos with us into the service we provide for our clients in the Bluelight Academy. Um, yeah, so it sounds like Catherine is actually over.
Catherine was, I think, the webinars were really good, but Catherine was she was there for me. She said that she was happy for me to get in contact with her whenever I needed.
Mhm.
She checked on me after the interview, so she was always there, which I was quite happy about.
Yeah, brilliant, awesome. That's great. Oh, it's so superb to hear. I've known Catherine now for over 20 years. So, you know, actually, there's a theme there that all the people that you've come across in the webinars, I've known them all for a long time. I think Raj is the youngest in the amount of time I've known them for. I've known Raj for 14 years. I've known Andrea for 32 now, 32 years. So these are all people who are, you know, really trusted. Jane, I've known Jane for about 15 years now. So yeah, they're all people who are really, really trusted individuals, and they're continuing to do what I always knew they would do. Brilliant. Ashley, so that was the service. You've got the result. You're feeling happy about it. You deserve to feel happy about it. You've done the hard work. What we've done is shown you the way. You know, we've shown you the way. You've done the hard work. You've realised that there's no magic bullet. There's no magic wand. You've got to do the hard work, and you've done it, and it's paid off. So for other people who might be sort of sitting on the fence at the moment, maybe they watch some of my videos or they've jumped on our website or they're in our Facebook group, and they're faced with a similar situation to you in that they're really not sure how to go about succeeding in the next step. What advice would you give them?
Definitely join this service, it was the biggest help that I could have
Hmm.
had. Of course, find some time to actually practice your interviews. I always did about an hour and a half a day just to practice, but that's with how I had to go about my
Yeah.
work. But I only had, again, 3 weeks since my interview notice to the actual interview, and I passed using the skills that I'd learned from here. So I'd say definitely it's a good investment, this place. But you do have to put in the effort as well. It isn't just, they tell you everything. You do have to put in your side as well.
Yeah, 100%, 100%, because you will never achieve anything unless you actually practice and work hard for it. It's the same in anything in life, but now you've got this awesome career ahead of you. If you adopt that same ethos, you will be successful. I come across so many people who are going for promotion or specialist interviews, which will be you one day. And I ask them, so how much practice have you been doing? You've got your board coming up in 2 days' time. Oh, well, I've made loads of notes. Well, making loads of notes isn't going to do it, is it? I mean, you've talked about there how you practice for an hour and a half every day over 3 weeks. It's paid off. It's paid off. There is no substitute for it. So hopefully you'll take that with you into your service. And everything that you do, you've just got to practice and practice and practice and practice. It's the absolute key to success. First of all, repetition. Repetition, do the practice, and do the uncomfortable stuff. And do it every day. And do it every day. And you will succeed in everything. That's a simple recipe for everything. A success in everything. Do the reps, do the hard stuff, and do it every day. And you can't fail to succeed. You will always succeed. Actually, it's so good to hear from you. And get that feedback from you. It really does, it gets me there, because this is exactly why we do what we do. I mean, we just in the WhatsApp group at the moment, which is all the Bluelight buddies. It's Friday morning, and already all the results are coming in from this week, and we've had some amazing results. So we really thrive on that. You want to see the buzz in the WhatsApp group. It's like, oh, amazing, can't believe it. I'm so pleased for whoever it is. We really do buzz for you, and I'm buzzing for you now. So well done, well done. And it's not a goodbye, Ashley. It's not a goodbye. It's either good news or bad news, however you want to take it. But you're one of our alumni now, so we will see you again if you choose to join us. But we are busy at the moment setting up our alumni service. This is something where we're going to be able to provide you with support all the way through your career. The sort of support which you might get in force, but from our knowledge of forces, a bit of a roll of dice really, in terms of what sort of support you get, in terms of, you may be having a 3-year dream about what you want to achieve. We'll be there for you to help you with that. And also, if you're ever faced with, and you will be faced with, some kind of ethical conundrum at some point, being in the police involves difficult decisions, as you well know, and numerous ethical conundrums that you're going to come across. And at some point you may be thinking, I've spoken to my sergeant, I've spoken to my tutor, but I'm still not sure. Well, with us, with Catherine and the rest of the team, you've got over 200 years of police management experience from some of the best police officers I've ever had the honour of working with. So you have access to something that other people just don't have access to. That kind of access, I'll be bold, is absolute gold. I don't think there's anywhere else where you could access that level of support from people who've got that sort of ethical DNA within them. So that is always open to you, Ashley. If you're ever stuck, if you're ever not sure, and you just feel like you need a friend to talk to, we're here for you. We're here for you. Just give us a call. And I know that Catherine and everyone else on the team will adopt that same approach of, right, let's get on the phone with Ashley because he's struggling with something. He's one of our alumni. We need to kick in and help him. So that's always available for you, Ashley. So it's not a goodbye forever. It's a see you soon. And if you could just promise me one last thing.
Yeah.
Yep. So on the day of your passing out parade, when you've got that proud photograph, we'd love to see it. We'd love to see it. So please do send that over. We would love to see that proud moment. And I look forward to seeing you soon. And thank you for joining me this morning.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Take care, Ashley. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.